Okay, let's get started. Just gonna be collecting footage for the trailer. I have it all planned out, just need to actually get recordings of it and I'll extract video and screenshots from it as we go. Audio will be muted, so and I have a composed song for this game. I noticed some differences since last time I have streamed it. There's a readme. I want people to read it. Information is important. Information is power. I have my documentation ready to go. Default names for the not straight into battle anymore. Now I've added a bit of an intro. Still seems a bit quiet. Adjust it as we go. Don't waste your time poking barrels and crates. That is also a check. Everything now has icons. All items now have icons before them. It was asked for, so I implemented it. The toggle to just experience gain. Characters all have descriptions now. Here as we are nearing release. And this moves into the where it used to start. Display that guard heals. Basic cures 100. There's things here. Hey, Cassie. Good evening, morning, afternoon, and night. Default names for this. Yeah, smelly salts, wake you right up. So the first thing it looks like I'm going to want for vid trailer. So we have hours of gameplay to put together an hour and a half trailer. Or a minute and a half trailer. Hour and a half trailer is a movie. I don't have to worry too much about that till I get to out of the intro. Not gonna get that far. I have 6 screenshots planned as well. None of which I have to worry about yet. I've always been kind of curious how quickly I could go through this. That's what we'll do today. had begun this before and then realized I forgot to hit the record button. We're just gonna do it live. I have been putting off doing this for a long time. Introduction to Catalina. I do want a screenshot of someone mentioning her name. I just need to pause on it long enough to be able to extract that later. During this ship battle, I suppose would be a good place for it. In case I miss it, I can always go back to one of the saves. Got some shoes. Getting Samuel and Bolt to the next level will make the boss fight a cinch. Take that meat. So despite all the pirates looking exactly the same, there are 3 different enemies on the field in this initial part, for some variety of moves. Unlike the rest of the game, these initial enemies are vulnerable. They resist nothing. All your tools work here at the start. At least one of them just have a different color palette. I'll exposit on mechanics as we go along. Gloves, as Bulk are using, can stun an enemy with the basic attack. Although claws have different status effects they do later. We grab these battle items for later, as one of each of the battle items for the tier 3 spells. Yeah, you got level 2, so you're good. Should do obscene amounts of damage now. Yeah. One thing I need to think of a way to those golds are rare drops. And then what I found to be the most overpowered thing you could do. Double buff Samuel and let him go at it. And Catalina in all forms is vulnerable to sleep. Auto target. Alright, that we want to make sure that these properly display what they do. That's fine, as you'll see there, dying does not prevent experience gain. Your penalty is no longer having them in the fight and having fed resources to pick them up. They still learned from the time they were awake. And you're revived after battle. I put this together. This should be how the trailer opens. I'd imagine. We cut this part out. Or else, yeah, I'll just stick with it the way I was planning on. Probably have the presents fading into this. Into each of the people meeting each of the original people from the game's namesake. Little thing that's not brought to attention is as you go through this, you're slowly losing health. Holding down the confirm button speeds everything up. Just go. Go fast. That one does not. That's just a reference to another game. Choice does not matter. Some choices are there for flavor. Added a soldier in every guild just to point out some enemy or pointing out that enemy families have vulnerabilities. They have moves. It'll be the same like that across the whole family. One thing I wanted to change, actually adjust. This man does not immediately open his shop. Fix that in motion here. Saw someone not realize, not talk to him again. Miss out on the early shop here. Okay, that is fixed. Not to say anything forgetting at this point, but there's 2 rare drops. 1 in 16 each. And I've adjusted the guild journal to no longer show all of them in succession, like you're flipping through a book. It now just shows the most recent. Now shows just the most recent one. No more being ambiguous about it. If you beat Catalina, you get the Vortex. It's a better weapon you have available at this point. It's Wind Elemental, so it does more damage to flying things. It gives you some magic attack now, as a change from before. Get a whip right before you're asked to beat up some beasts. Basic of all things, tell you it tells you it's a gimmick. So even being behind on attack power by almost 10. The whip's gonna be competitive, if not better. In this case, it is straight up better. If you lose the Catalina, you just don't get the Vortex. Game continues on. You don't get that she counterattacks your limit breaks, your limit strikes there with Bet Revenge. If you don't get that and use it a couple times, you could get wrecked pretty easily. That one did not have an icon. Adjust that. Neither of those did. I seem to have missed this page. Let's adjust that. What we're here for. What icon are we using for the guild journal itself? Okay, 189. Suppose I could do that. Flip over for these sections. Then the guild letter. That was there. Guild letter I'm using with number icon. 192. So the original guild journal actually was built like this, and then as you got another page in the book, it flipped through, and further on I can see that was really tedious if you just wanted to read the one you were doing and not have to flip through them all. So instead, now I rebuilt it going the other way. So now it only shows the most recent one. Took a bit of time to put that together, but worth it. Now it will show that. Worth swinging by here for the free stuffs. He explains some enemies just have thick skin. They hurt ya. Little gag throughout the game. King Henry VIII there. Saw his wife there next to him. Her sprite changes throughout the game. No mention is brought to that. Did it at first as an error, and then decided to keep it. It made me laugh. This fight is also fail forward. The last of the necessary fail forwards. Here we go. Although he's a lot weaker than he used to be. The prize is just really good. At this point, our basic attack does like 15, 20, 3 times as much damage from throwing up a spell when we have as much of a spell build as we can. The music for this area has changed. So random encounters are 100% escapable unless they are forced. Like this. Where I saved his before. Is the basics even better than the vortex? No. Just there to describe what a book does. I know might. Blind Knife's actually just the best weapon we have at the moment. Wait, what was that? Some battle items, okay. Gotta make sure I saw that. I read that right. Have him snap an orb. Have him throw dynamite. Just a demo. Other is flat evasion. 20%. Physical and magical. This fight's meant to be here as a gag. On these goofy soldier battlers. Knives can crit. They're one of knives, ninja swords, and bows. That's it. Those are the only ones that can critically hit. Give him the jolly since a slight boost from luck. Like a few percentage more. 2, 3. Your luck is okay. There's stuff here. Yeah. Silly will carry you through this area, pretty much no matter what. And this game has changed its layout a bit since last time we showed this off. Made it a little less blocky. Enemies showing off. Dude, there wasn't much fighting in the sewer. If you touch a bat, it bites you. Okay, and kind of a gimme boss here. First enemy with 2 actions can be blinded. Also, try to put you to sleep. Would probably be undone right after by the breath. Spirit Celine will take care of this for you. Willing to buff Celine's magic attack, so a blaze just wipes it. Is weak to fire. Neat thing for those familiar with the plot, Crystal Skull is an item. You can use it. It does what it does later. It kills. Actually, not you, you. Yeah, take those orbs. These things can be blinded. It can weigh much of their bite. Do you want a screenshot of this crew battling? Probably the boss of the area. He's fine. See? He's fine. I did nap. The skeleton next to it is supposed to display that it is a trap encounter. It can be blinded. Good. That actually was a cloak of evasion. That was a spell, so. Get the most out of these fireworks. There we go. Those now sell for a lot, and he explains some items you find in here now. Ready to close status because floating will increase wind damage. Yes, it does, but it's off screen, so don't worry about that. The capture for the footage will be only the actual game. How you doing, Zilba? Will not allow, also clear. Need to adjust that. That was a typo, which is disappointing since I just added that in like yesterday. Why you slow down and do things live. But we'll also clear. Yeah, we're gonna play through a few hours of this to get 90 seconds of footage. Oh yeah? Oh, congratulations, you fixed it. And that mini boss of the area thing there, it's right on a loop from the entrance, so you can just rest again. This intro area is not meant to be difficult, it's showing you mechanics. And I moved one of these up here so the player will realize they can walk behind it, which is crucial for solving this. I do want to save beforehand, because the boss is right after. Forced you to not be able to. Oh no, were you being rude? Say something that Twitch considered questionable. Long journeys. Fully restores your entire party to full. This guy. So he now explains, hey, the sage is, that's your tent. Your tent, your cabin, your yurt. Use it anywhere, not just to save points. Sexing too much. Powerful. Text so much, Twitch is like, yo, calm down. You really want to come into this? So the pro strat here is to come into this fight with full health and full magic on Ali, because then he'll open with poison. He doesn't have any healing to do, and the behemoth, the Yeti here, is vulnerable to poison. But your only source of that is through Ali, who you're not controlling. He is vulnerable to blind, so you can work on that. Basically, poisoning him puts this fight on a timer. He has slight health regen, just to put some pressure on you. Poison negates that and puts in a ton of damage around. If I can blind him, I'll completely take care of this. There we go. Yeti solved. Thanks, Ali. Tough to gauge what Ali's gonna do. But yeah, quick fight. Easily dismantled when you know what you're doing. I did not get the screen cap I wanted out of that. In a previous playthrough, Ali was consistently doing 69 damage to the Yeti. Oh well. And if the observant player had poked at Ali's stuff, he would have had a whole bunch of different things here. It's Final Fantasy as it can be. Nice, Silva. I finally figured out what was wrong with his spell list. Took away Dumbindalaka, that was on his sword. And you get a little fireball. You get for Weevil's this other sword that is a reference. Here we find the Coral Sword, which he then immediately puts on, giving him 200. This is an endgame weapon. A very endgame weapon. And if you had trouble with the chest pains before, this is the time to fight it. When Ali can almost two-shot it. You got a long way to go, Zilva. Congratulations. Always good to start a project. Gaming projects can be quite difficult. And they don't leave until you've stepped outside to learn about the job class system. There is a new man in here somewhere. Yeah, you. Seems like a lot of you guys, however. Everyone I've seen play this so far, testing-wise, has understood what I was trying to get them to understand. Right, you were added when I added the monk class. Originally there were only 12, and I added 4 more. Yeah, monk was not originally on this list. Kind of go quickly to get moving on. Or rather, do I want... Alright, I'll slow down when I get the next person so I could get a screen cap of that. Yeah, I did plan to have... Oh darn, I needed a screen cap of that. Well, this is why we save. Right, I wanted to get footage of meeting Ernst. Fine. I wanted to back that up anyway and slow down on grabbing job classes and skills. This is why we use multiple saves. A nicer background. This is a pretty nice background. Water? Water, some... There we go. Then I go a little slower. Footage a bit begin about here. Alright, and that'll be footage of changing... Yeah, footage of job class changing, skill learning. That'll look nice. And slowly progress through meeting Ernst. There we go, we have that. I also went too fast through Ali. We'll double back for that. We can skip the rest of this. Once you've recruited Ernst, then they jump on board. And then they leave, that's what I'm trying to say. Behemoth tusks now sell for twice as much as they used to. Where did we meet Ali? Here. Introduce yourself. You don't actually properly introduce yourself. You also misspelled his name. Huh, I've never noticed that. Vegas. And you were just copy-pasted. His name is also changed during development. Like, Salim used to be Faisal. You really not introduce yourself? Suppose that would be... that would make sense. There, Vezas. It's just for the sake of the trailer. Put this down. Pop this up. Now talk to him. There. Now I have my footage. Delete that line. Take a momentary interruption. Be right back. Okay. Alright, so I want footage of sailing around Italy. We're not at Italy yet. Next main person to meet the Catalina. Board. We're a little underleveled for what I usually expect, but yeah. Okay. There are encounters on the ocean. We are not hurt, we can move on. Alright, so at this point, you did. Okay. Gold use is level by 15. That is no variance on this. It's just what I put together. So it's going to be 90 gold. I'm going to do 180 damage at this point. Do want footage of using Gill Toss. That's why I didn't buy a whip or a book. It's a lot of drops. They all drop their common and rare. This will be a good one for the footage. Or the first Gill Toss doesn't count. Yeah. Each subsequent one loads the bag basically. He survives. He'll be fine. Status effects all clear after battle. Yeah, it'll be fine. Fight has a very high variance. And twice he's rolled pretty much as strong as he can go. Nice. Every chest pane drops the equivalent of an elixir and some piece of equipment you can usually not get otherwise. Don't have a wizard, but the chemist will work for now. Better gloves if you were using a monk. This would be a good battle. Go off Guild Toss. There's my footage of using Guild Toss. There. I'll use picking Guild Toss, using it, and then looking at the menu. That'll be in the trailer. All this audio would be replaced. Alright, next thing I want is using Provoke. Only costs 25. In 12 enemies. And for doing the side area, you get more bees. Yeah, sure. One more level, or one more battle, and he'll level up. Most side quests have a good prize. This particular one is a sage. That's your tent. Well, remember, you can use it anywhere though, not just at save points. Anywhere outside of battle. And a mystery vial, which fills your limit. There we go. There's your full heals. Dragons, like as the person said, are weak to ice. And can be blinded and poisoned. They also do that. 1 in 4 chance of countering. Countering physicals or countering anything? I forget. Battle wants you to bring a combo. Yeah, but Battle also wants you to be higher than level 7. Well. Counter anything. But subject to his hit rate. To encourage you to blind him. Discourage you from indiscriminately attacking. Out of... Who's that? Welcome back. Ambrosia gave him re-raise, life 3. Fire won't hurt him. Okay. He should have the boss call. Swing down to the welcome, add that on. Your first encounter with a dragon. Show that they are quite real. Also would have been a touch easier had I upgraded any equipment. Pirates. Pirates counter limit attacks with Cursed Chain. A percentage attack that can poison, do quite a few stats effects. Poison, blind, silence, bleed. Yeah, so under experiment, which is what I was hoping to grab before, is create supplies. It reduces your MP cost. If you remembered, or when the screen panned over, hey, there's a box up there. From is it's the only item that increases your defense, making you numb to pain, allowing you to get more than max defense, take no damage. It's also a mixing ingredient. What kind of battle do I want to show off Provoke in? Because people like taunting mechanics, so I want to show off that the soldier class is that. Is a tanking class. Not here, it's dark. Enemies have a 1% crit rate? That was just really good timing. Combined with his rum. Another reason why revives are free. Still got his full experience. We changed how that move worked. It's just a health debuff now with a tiny tap on it. Boss is not immune to poison, so nice. I think I'll use that as part of a screenshot. Jot down where that was. Okay. I know to come back and grab that. Also can do confusion. Confusion in this is not attack your allies. Confusion in this is 50% chance of do the move you input or smack yourself in the head lightly. With a 50% chance of clearing confusion upon getting smacked in the head. Pokemon style. And she should drop on this turn. One more. He's trying. There we go. By making being knocked out not an actual, like, penalty, changes the dynamic of, is it worth picking them up? Do I need their help? They're going to get full credit. Oop, dropping things, sorry. Well, in that case, gotta throw this money at me. Would be worth swinging up the Red Sea. endgame relic for sale here in Mecca. As in 100%. Go. Some attack, some agility, and 100% counterattack. Every inn has an alarm clock for free in it. The mixing ingredient. Alright, one thing I wanted to grab footage of was changing the name of a port. There you go, that's what I showed him the first time. So actually, let's put it back to where it was. Brunei. The Brunei supply port. There, okay, there's the footage for that. Good. Renaming a port. I want to use provoke in a battle. I get into a battle with some squids. Not squids, like jellies. Do 3 jellies. Counter rate, please. And go. Okay, that'll be that. Renaming a port, looking at different equipment. Do that when we get back to Europe. Every inn you've seen so far has had a person in it. The fact that there's no one here is supposed to clue you into something will happen. Hey, BTV. You're awake. Shouldn't you be sleeping? Provoke user with a spear is going to be pretty fragile. At least when he's still wearing leather. I feel like it's been a week of nights. When do you move back to days? Fragile's fine, I guess. We have 3 heals. Schedule is weird, man. Sounds awesome, but weird and taxing. There's a battle gauntlet with a bunch of permanent stat up items. This is after I nerfed Gil Toss. In the early game, Gil Toss is real good. Then it stays competitive through the mid game and it starts to fall off only late game compared to some of the other big moves you have, but by then you don't need the cash anyway. So it's a way for the soldier class to keep doing AoE damage. this point, it's only throwing $120. Still cash positive. And yeah, I've seen people completely put it to the wayside because they didn't look at how much they were getting for it. Nice. There's another option for hitting for the good number. Pick one of those for the screenshots. Yeah, it's excellent. Finally, about time I'm at the point where I can do this. Fortunately, I've sat down and I've written down all the things that what I want the trailer to be. I wrote down what I wanted the trailer to be, and I've written down all that what I want from the screenshots. I just need to now play through the game and make that happen. Provoke's not a good idea when you're not wearing a shield and still wearing the basic equipment. And do is just tag him out for Sakura. He can be blinded. That's supposed to negate a lot of what he can do. Go for the guaranteed blind. I don't want to rely on the knife here. To see, despite confused, Sakura... Actually, what's the description for that? Okay. I did properly do that. There we go. And for going to that side quest earlier than intended and talking to her to get her knife. Evade up. We'll get him new armor eventually. Get a knife that'll put him on par with physical attacking with the actual melee characters. For quite some time. The ×2 damage multiplier to humans will help. Did not mean to sell that carapace. Whatever. This playthrough's not going to last long enough to use those. There is a weapon whose attack power scales mostly off of how many escapes you've done. You do still have a reason for that. Do that. I think I changed the dialogue in here. Yes. Explain. Undead do the undead thing. Someone was playing the game that was not familiar with the thing undead do. Kept killing themselves with Drain Blade. Wait, I didn't like the way that sounded. Kill that. Slide. Do this. Kangu. Fuji. Hello, Asamu. Yes. For now, we can visit Japan. But here. Here in the world. The game has taken so long to make. I remember when I was making it, and I got to the point where you got a boat, and I went, well, now what do I do? Do I make side areas? Do I work on the plot and come back to it? It ended up being a lot of plow ahead with the plot and then stop to come back to and do side areas here and there. Thank you, thank you. You're almost entirely. It's boat only. There's no walking across the world map. Makes it feel bigger. Fuji. I didn't like the way that sounded, so fixed it. Salmon bulk. Malay 3. I had help. I had help from a Canadian making Canada. There is an event in the Hudson Bay? There is a supply port up here. And I had help from an Australian making Australia. New Zealand had to be cut. We had to cut New Zealand because I didn't want Easter Island to be obvious. I wanted Easter Island to be an Easter egg, because there's endgame equipment there in Easter Island. And you can go there. That's a side quest. Africa looks large because this is the largest a map will go in this program. There are workarounds, but in order to, like, really make them... This is the most the map can be. So, this is a very Eurocentric game taking place in the 1500s. So the game is based off of it. I basically made England first, and then everything else scaled to England. I made Mediterranean next, and then everything had to scale to that. And there's not, in the 1500s, there wasn't much going on over here. And you would never be able to tell this from sailing around. Yeah, in fact, I'll show that off as soon as we fix this. Power enough, blah blah blah. Yeah, melee 3. Let's actually go the extra route, change the battle music to melee 3. And then afterwards change it back to normal. That should sound a lot better. Like, doing that thing that I like where the music starts before the encounter. Confirm I like. So, I hop out here. Just leave Japan for a moment. Turn off random encounters. Leaving Japan. The Pacific ends up being very, very small. But there's not much to do out here. The game is set way off in the Euro. I mean, you could sail the Yellow River. There's things out here. But it certainly doesn't feel small. What I made of Indonesia, India. You sail the Red Sea? In fact, let's do that. We'll pretend there's a canal. In the game, you can build the canal. For some in-game ducats, you can build this canal. For now, we'll just jump it. Sail the Nile, stuff down there. Aegean, Adriatic. Did want footage of this actually, so actually let me jot down. The footage of this will be. I want a footage of sailing around Italy, so this will be about 141 in the recording. I wanted to catch Sicily, Italy, and up the Adriatic. Well, I'll cut it off at the plot event happening in Venice. Yeah, that'll be where the video. That'll be my video of that. Let's see if this sounds better. There. Keep that battle theme going. I have music that was composed for my game. I paid a very talented music composer to write me a tune. So I'm gonna put that over the trailer. It's gonna be about 90 seconds long, although the song itself is like 7 minutes. It's the final battle theme. Although I suppose if it came down to it, I could always, in a world. See if I can't get charge limit. No. Explosion still is nice. This battle tries to trap you because these two work as a combo. Yeah, I'll go ahead and save that link for later. Replica. Bulk use a shockwave, which is an earth attack. Get you to try to use Will to fly into the air. When you do that, Samuel will use his wind attacks to get double damage on you. Samuel has less health, but is armored. Bulk has more health, but is not. Bulk, as a monk, will heal himself. He will heal himself a lot if you poison him. Yeah, with that new knife, Raj is doing more than Jeffrey. Another pair of chain link gloves for the flavor. Of he's a boxer. And I've changed the layout of the volcano, so when you go up, you're now facing up, and you come down, you're now facing out. I just changed the ins and outs of the volcano quite a bit. And, since a tester had asked for it, when Step Guard is done, it takes away all floor damage and encounters. All random encounters for 100 steps. When it goes away, it now tells you. Pro way doing this. Need some more money. Yeah, these are not really worth the economy. They're worth for selling. I added some items in just for sell, but they're a nice prestige thing to have later. This playthrough won't last that long. Pick up a ninja sword that can silence. Why would you sell that now when you don't have a ninja? Well, you have a freelancer class. I want to get footage of this, actually. Okay, this will be at 1:46 in the recording. It's easier to find this later when I trim it out. Okay. Good to see that. Our very dodgy crew. I moved this over here. People were reading that as there's like a time mechanic to this because it's a volcano. No, just pointing out he has step guard. It's a trap. Blind you. Well, he was blinded. Did the best I could. Experiment is one of 6 effects listed in the README. One of them, I believe they are the image to all enemies, agility up to all allies, the pseudo on all allies. They're all positive effects. Boost the limit gauge of all allies by 25, 15, something like that. Ambrosia, which is re-rise on the user, and create supplies. Half MP cost for all allies. That was the reason I didn't buy new armor for you. Just find some. Dying cleared his step guard. I don't think there are encounters up here on the roof. Opened it? Okay. Oh, right, because I had reloaded. Now we're ready to actually proceed with the volcano. Look, that gives auto barrier. Barrier reduces incoming physical damage in half. Real good if he's not casting airsoft. Which he won't be like now. I taught you prayer strike. That's going to heal him. Darkness knife. Not the blind knife on. Big hits. Gale Toss is a bit overpowered, and I'm okay with that. There's your panic button. Things are not going ideal. Just push that. Oh, I never even put on your better hat I bought. This isn't even his true form. I also got the rare drop of a bow. 1 in 16. That bow is several levels higher than what you can get, even once you get an archer. Added a healing room there. Fact. The lower class is your freelancer. You can equip anything. Beautiful. Now I'll build the air song until it dies. The bow will do not only a lot of damage because it's a lot stronger than the spear was, it does double damage to flying at targets. What are you looking at? That is a bird. A bird with 2 little birdettes. 3 little birdettes. 4, actually. There's... I don't know if this registered to capture the cursor. There. You got a birdie, little old birdette on top of its head. Here's the head. You got 1 over here on the shoulder, 2 flying away. It's got the things that look like eyes that nature tends to do to spook things. You see this, you think it's a face, you get spooked when really the head is this little noodly thing here. This is an optional boss with a very good reward. It's what birds would look like if humans didn't come around. Alright, so that should kill Jeffrey. And it. Backlash is a move where you do double damage, you take half damage. You take half of that damage. Now, he did less than half because it doesn't take multipliers into effect. So he would have done 350 damage, so he took, like, he would have done like 330, so he took 160, but then that was double because he was hitting a flying target. What it took to put this move together, my goodness. Have to pause for a moment. What the formula for that move looks like. To get it to cut in half. He's actually gaining health negatively. And it was giving decimals, which was freaking the game out. If I had added full round down, please. And for winning the fight, you get a accessory, which we're not going to use at the moment. Suppose you can wear it. Gives you innate regen. I looked at one of the cells in the brief. That's one of the Excel spreadsheets, right? I have them, but I've never opened it because I'm not familiar with Excel. It's a lot. I get overwhelmed by Excel. Easily. Alright. You're switching over to... You'll switch over mid-fight to the barrier. Yeah. So this boss is, vulnerable only... He's vulnerable to silence? But your only way to silence at this point is using the ninja sword that only your freelancer class can wear. Right, he pops open the menu first. I just opened it and I immediately closed it because it looked scary. I also apparently don't have Excel on my computer. It's some kind of a trance. I love PowerPoint, man. Good for now. You start the healing. So it starts off as a demon. Weak to light, but you don't have access to light. Well, you do. Prayer Strike, but we don't have access to that right now. Surge only deals more damage to undead targets. You don't have... He's not undead. yet. When he gets to half health, he uses a move you get access to much later, where you restore your health but become undead. Now we want to switch over to bigger book, which means he's now picked up a weakness to undead and fascinating. Because I've just been using moves and seeing how it works out. I can also just snap that fireworks right off the bat. He has a lot of spells that are pretty much dangerous. That's being completely negated with the ninja sword. There you go. Yeah, 1,000 damage. He becomes very weak to fire. I saved the really good stuff for the bosses. His basic attacks aren't much of an issue, even at low levels, where I've been refusing to fight things. Oh yeah, the Man-Eater, I didn't show that off. The Man-Eater also has a limit break attached to it. Just way more darkness damage. And Eureka, just like Experiment, does one of 6 things. Let's use it. Alright, we now attack with fire. And attack with and absorb fire. That's gonna double the damage output of Jeffrey. Yeah. That worked out really well. So, Eureka can enchant fire, ice, or lightning. It can use a Sage in battle. It can use her Sage in battle, which restores your entire party HP MP to full. It can... Oh, gosh. Where's Eureka on the list here? That's not Eureka on the list. There it is. It can use a hero drink on everyone, which is a special status effect which makes you immune to most types of damage for a few turns. Or it can cast haste, which gives you an extra action per turn. Per round. For a few turns. You don't roll one of the enchants when you don't need it, you get a really good effect. It's gambling. It's chemistry. You never quite know what you're gonna get. Toss some things into a vial and see what happens. Alright, so I do want to get footage of the crew meeting Catalina here. You're just gonna be throwing ash. And to prevent, I put the hot spring in here to prevent you from getting stuck because Catalina's in the harbor. where the inn is, so you can always heal here, and if you really need to grind in the volcano, it's right there. This is what I wanted. Beating them. There. Let me just write down, that's... I got, this is at 2:07 in the recording. Okay, what's left? Looking at different equipment options. And that's it, actually. And it's just screenshots. As per the previous battle, Catalina is still vulnerable to sleep. We don't have any way to put her to sleep with this crew, but it's there. Her ally there, you can do anything you want to him. He's a chemist as well. He's gonna be super annoying until we drop him. He's a chemist thief. As per usual, if she pokes Ernst, I'll show it off. Or I'll show it off with Jeffrey, sure. If you hit her with a limit break, she gets upset. You're told about this by two or three different people. So if you still do it, it's not on me. And as you see in the original, toss her, he puts them in a bag. Counter, cover. Soldiers have innate cover, and the black belt gives counter. So you're actually fine. Really good for like a monk. Alright, and I need good... Wait. Dang it. Hold on, I didn't grab the footage. I skipped past the footage of meeting Joao. Just grab this footage and then back out. We have Ernst, we have now Catalina, we have Ali. Alright, that should be sufficient for that. Doesn't need to be fancy, just needs to get the point across. No, don't need anything from this scene, so let's go along ahead. I need anything from this, from the banquet? Yeah, it's a stick of stats. It didn't used to say what it did. Now it does. Go ahead and let this go through. And could plot dump if you wanted to. Let's see what. Yeah, that's it for so the screenshots. I'm gonna grab a screenshot of Catalina in my party, so that's not for a little bit. Part of the Amazon. Okay, that's a quick one to do. While we're here. I added you in to explain just different kinds of creatures. Point out a few, encourage the player to notice and realize. Oh, right. Joao first. Tells you to go home, and he should disappear. Good. Someone actually found, Hester recently found a sequence break in the game because I had 2 triggers backwards. No one else had found it. Skipping 5 dungeons. Really easy to fix, just it was interesting. His inability to talk to anyone led to him going the wrong way. And being given access to places he should not be. So it's something I did I made up in my head as a plot convenience. Actually worked out. The Strait of Gibraltar does get quite foggy during a certain season. It actually worked out nicely. By having your basic recovery items used as ingredients, keeps them relevant, since none of these persist after battle. Your answer doesn't matter there. Dialogue options for the sake of dialogue options. That used to be a battle item. An elliptic. And battle shut down. When you use Knowledge Bomb, it can't miss. When the enemy does, it can. Based on, yours is a true hit attack. Theirs is based off their physical attack. He routinely does special moves for status effects. And you have the option of slaying him or imprisoning him. I'll take a screen cap of her saying his full name. That'll be... That'll go nicely. Motorcycle neighbors out and about now that the rain has stopped for a little bit. Upside to it being pouring rain the last few days is motorcycle neighbors stay home instead of just driving in a circle all day. This is the first instance of the wife changing, where I had put the wrong sprite in this cutscene, and thought that was funny and just went with it. So routinely throughout the story, King Henry VIII's wife will change. And at this point, the world opens up, Gotta name the boat. It fits. Well, it doesn't make a difference what you name the boat. Occasionally people will mention the name of it. So if you name it something silly, you'll be reminded of that down the line. I suppose they always say the. You're given 4 plot points to head out to, but you can do a whole bunch of other things. First thing you'd want to do is what the game pointed you towards to push you, direct you towards getting another party member. The Chad. Reminiscent of the Angels. Alright, so I want any Catalina, I need auto. For those screenshots. Bodie McBoatface. Be a fine name. I suppose, no wait, the first thing we want to do is actually get more class. One objective is purely plot. One objective will give you another party member. One very quick objective will just give you 5 more job classes, so let's do that. Did not get, hold on. I wanted to get the introduction of auto here and I went too fast. Hold on. Reload that and sail back to Seville. Why records? Why we use many saves? The king tells you, but then because people don't read, the king also, and they reiterate it here. You get a little side shot of a crew member, one of your crew who tags along here and there. Very minor character. Okay. Baines, born of English battlefleet. The incident. Okay, so that's good. Otto has a soft spot for Catalina. Whether you say yes or no, you eventually agree. You can now take up the mantle of crime. For now, just as a subclass. For you. I think those are the two most useful ones at the moment. And after each chunk of job classes, you get another little tutorial of where they explain some of them, and to show how good that drop I got was. Way better than the generic bow at this point. Next thing we want is the next character. Just only slightly into the pyramid. Alright, I'll fight you. Prime has a flat 33% chance to steal. Increase to 100% once you have the crime mittens. Very quiet. Pyramid system. One last fight. And Joel will jump in for the fight. Oh. That's what quick draw is. Double focus dispatch did do a lot of damage. As it should. Everybody up. How do you like it? If Joao ran low on mana, the medallion would restore his mana. And the gag is it's not Joao you get bulk. Starts off as a monk. So everyone has a canonical class, everyone but your main two people. They get 75 job points to start with, and 50 in all the others. Everyone can get 2 basic skills or 1 of the better or advanced, what have you, more expensive. Or they can grab 1 of each. For the pyramid, we want to grab prayer. You gotta not use you as a monk. You're gonna be a berserker. But berserker doesn't fit in there, so wild man. Counter, cover, and where's the cape? There it is. And cape. Berserkers use their HP for their big moves. Venus Cape will make sure that doesn't stop happening. And putting the magic armor on, so he'll regen some MP so he can meditate back his health when needed. It's a move. Oh. Wow has started drinking. Red wine gives Berserk in battle. It's also it's an ingredient as well. I suppose I should get a shot of the pyramid. It'd work quite a bit on making this look nice. Do I have anything to steal? Ghosts have no pockets. darkness. Every time someone joins the party and the levels get averaged, Guild Toss gets reset. Guild Toss is not based off the level of the user, it's based off of the average level between William and Jeffrey. Only 3-4 levels behind Curve at this point. Expected it to be worse. Been kind of rushing through this. And because you get a full heal on level up, it encourages you to use your moves. You have them, use them. Good day. Math cares not for your defense. Suppose you don't need to be a white mage yet. Have Dirge. It'll be useful later. Should switch him over to the Blind Knight. Right, we have you along as a healer. That leads to a couple boxes and the entrance. I think they guaranteed those guys. This map was planned out much further in advance. And yeah. I like the way the pyramid turned out. I like the way the volcano turned out too, but I like very happy with how the pyramid has turned out. It's changed a lot over the years. About a year and a half ago, I did a complete remake of the pyramid. But every other one of these boxes are monsters. Cultists have a rare drop of a good magic hat. That's why I've been fighting those. He is very fragile. Alright, this round should drop him. Alright, for the main treasure vault. The jackets are general armor that anyone can wear. That absorbs that element. Not helpful now. It is better than the nothing he was wearing. You put the thief clothes on. Try to be a little dodgy. Double JP. Alright, I'll fight this. One of the few enemies, I think that's the only enemy here that can turn you undead. Oh, those slime enemies, they can also drop elixir. Along with tons of cash. Alright, fine. They have a steal of an MP restore and a rare drop of a wizard hat you can't get access to for quite a while. And the guaranteed drop of a reagent. They have a 50-50 chance of running away or attacking. Huh. So, undead enemies have a 1 in a 128 chance of dropping that? I never actually got one of those to drop in a test run. None of you have healing, so... Oh, I have an accessory. It magnifies it by 50%. I like the idea of ultra rare drops, like prestige things. I do not like them being necessary, but they add a little bit to. I'd say they add a little bit to gameplay variance and to replay value. Could get something else out of it. Yeah, and there's one of. Well, we've got the music on. There's one of each kind. There's 50% increases of every element. And at the very end game, you get one that does all of that in one, like as a regular item, and they stack. And certain families of items have a chance to drop that. These things get a lot less threatening once you have tools to deal with them. You're not undead, so we can actually go all out. A deep breath doubles your attack for a turn and makes it so you can't miss. So it's a one turn, because otherwise attacking twice would be just as good, except it takes away the ability for the enemy to dodge or for you to miss. And for this you get a much better claw if you were using a monk still. That claw inflicts poison on hit? Yeah, poison on hit. No lighting up here because this is there's a puzzle up here. Sake of transparency. Get something really good if you can not poke any of the spikes. That I missed one. Alright, to the pyramid. Let's fix that. Then, which icon are we using for refresher? 179. Looks a lot nicer that way. Leave the chill music on. Temporary interruption. Be right back. Tingling with excitement. Okay. Back. And no encounters during puzzle zone here. There we go. And this chest is here until you get hit by a spike. I mean, accessory makes you immune to darkness damage. There's treasure off to the left and right. Alright, well, so we don't need that. It could be. Could grab that as well. I did not heal before this. So let's just point out, right? Do this right off the bat. You cannot kill the things in the back, and they will counterattack if you hit them. A few moves are random attacks, like air saw. One fight that tries to work around that. Right, you're undead. That will probably hurt you. They are brothers. They have the same basic... model, because Jeffrey is a little older than William. Although William's appearance changes throughout the game, and technically, so does Jeffrey's, but in a different way. So him getting level 3 zombie on you, actually works in your favor. Because zombies can't bleed, so he can't cast sap on you, and his darkness damage will heal you. It's a joke. It's your first real boss fight, it's also a joke. The only one here in danger of dying is William. Zombies also cannot be stunned. The undead are vulnerable to poison, it just hasn't landed yet. There it is. You can rot the bones. And poison is 10%, just go ahead and clear that. Every once in a while, the Guardians do get a move. They don't just sit there taking up space completely. He is weak to light. Yeah, they counterattack. Been a zombie of undead enemies. The undead are also immune to instant death. drop him below a certain health threshold, and he drops his backup. It's a pyramid full of undead creatures. If you don't have a light attack to use here, well, that's silly. And the battle fanfare is reserved purely for the end of boss fights. Undead's also the only status effect that sticks around after battle, because there could be times like this where you want to be. Well, that killed him, but alright. It's fine. But undead. Well, that cured the undead. I was on a quest to find Atlantis. Catalina was on a quest to find Joao. As Catalina believes that Joao's dad there sunk a Spanish battle fleet that had loved ones of Catalina's on it. Well, he got the Staff of Ra, which is an endgame battle item, or an endgame item. Worry about that much later. We get a bunch of gold. You do not have to walk out of the pyramid. I know one screenshot I definitely want. Is finishing Ernst's side quest here. Once I swing by Scandinavians. They have that just a little bit worse magic hat than what those guys could have dropped. Oh yeah, the economy also dropped the magic orb. Increases MP by 50%. It's a lot of MP. Guess that could have been handy. Since I have Bulk as a wild man, I should get him an axe. Steel is the standard, but there is better than steel. Game. The Mediterranean's encounter rate is a bit higher to make up for the enemies being so weak. Because you could conceivably get to the Mediterranean part of the game with only 2 people. Raja is optional. A couple people point you towards him, but you do not have to pick him up. Pick up an axe. And power plate. All gold equipment increases your max HP by a percentage. Oh, I actually don't have a shield for you at all. So the gold tier is really to help you pick yourself up until you have moves to use. Hey there. $5,000 smackers. I have the money, I could do it. Quick. Occasional monsters. I really like this tune for Seville. That was definitely a contender for the music for the theme. And for 50k, you throw down just the most defensive light armor in the game. Where defense is out of 128. So the higher to 128 you get, the percentage-wise less damage you take. So for example, if you had exactly 128 defense, you would take 0 damage. If you had half of that, if you had 64, you would take half damage. So that's how defense works in this. So small increases are less important than the other benefits you would get from equipment. That's a big jump. That 13 defense, you're gonna get not even 10% damage reduced. Each of the capitals have their own music. Bring him 5 steel armor and 5 steel sword. For an accessory that increases, it gives you magic regen. Alright, next thing I want to do is do Ernst's side quest. I want a screenshot of the reward of that. I don't actually need to talk to Ernst to do this. Ernst wants you to go explore Iceland. It's just an area to explore. Full of, you know, things you love, like Squatch. Nothing to steal from Squatch, right? Yeah. Squatch's beefed up version of that boss you fought before. Could be worth fighting. If I have a quill. For the most part, behemoths mostly only use ground-based attacks. Their basic attack isn't terrible. That would have done almost double that if he didn't have that plate on, but still. When low on health, they can also take a nap and recover a lot of health, being super annoying. But they only have a little bit of MP. So if you had drained that out of them, they wouldn't be able to do that. They do regen a little bit over time to keep up pressure. They are also worth a whole lot more than everything else in the area because of it. Squatch have a rare drop of a pretty good item. Cash at the monster made of cash. There are quite a few moves that ignore defense. That's how you get around the big defense there. And the crystal brooch, MP regen things, it's very slight, because it's like 1.5% because it works on the overworld. We have 64 now. 65. For a player's request, I added in an option to sleep. Someone had apparently gotten up here and just used a shiny quill and was upset that that was consumed. You're not worth fighting without using a quill. Not use. The powerful spear does double damage to beasts. Like this one. And increases magic attack in case you were using it as like a hybrid with spells. Might be the only enemy in the game that drops this. Is it worth it? I think you're the only thing that drops talent. Well, it is now. Increase the value of that. The areas are, I want to say, I worked hard to balance both starting areas of Iceland here and the pyramid to be roughly the same difficulty. So we tore through those enemies because we went to the pyramid first. Had we gone here first and fought everything, we would have been able to tear up the pyramid a bit easier. This is not... Well, I mean, I can grab the headband. Increases attack. Go to return to Ernst to find out Ernst was kidnapped by those pirates he was worried about from before. Pirates hang out. Along like the Tunisia area. Escaping is free. You create your own curve. That one also did not have the... Gonna fix that real quick. The storeroom key. What icon am I using? This is the key icon. $195. And the other item he gives you later also doesn't have a icon. Fix that. Used for his notes. $193. As he says, he's not human. He's a demon. No buffs for 3 turns. He doesn't have prime. If you can't beat him in 5 turns, there's a mirror. Then he summons a friend. That he then hides behind. There we go. Yeah, he summons a squid that comes with Provoke. First time you see Provoke in the game. The taunt. Making you, unless you use multi-target full party attacks, then you have to go through the squid first. An endgame weapon in your pocket. A world map. That's the background I want. With appropriate spatial issues, because he's a cartographer working on it right now. Not perfect. And Here's a screenshot I want. The menu open with it over top of it. I don't want to put all 8 people you eventually get there on it, because spoilers, man. 329 is where that is. Alright, and then the next thing I want to do... Right, button. Right, the last screenshot I want isn't for quite a while, actually, so, let's just cheat and get to that area. In order to do that, I need... I make this happen. Alright, that should be here. Alright, so I head up in Lisbon. What is the sequence trigger for in order to get you to pop up? Sequence trigger is 508 and 670. These two events have to happen much later. There's our dad. Yes, he's talking to a ghost. Don't worry about it. Didn't say I was given the canoe. That dialogue is missing. Oh, because I didn't. It was looking for something else. That wasn't there. Let me add that in anyway, just change the way. Then I can complete with icon. What icon am I using for that? Need a canoe. 295. There, now we have a canoe in our inventory. We can what did I say? Well, I suppose that's true. Enough. Just want a screenshot of the Amazon River. Can't sail down it until we have a canoe. The new world is meant to be based around level 20. The enemies around here, we've been flying through them. That's not it. All right. Now, there's a sequence trigger here, more in depth than just have a canoe. Go. Your helpful buddy you've been seeing throughout. There. Just want to get a couple of fireflies on screen. Same time. They do appear randomly, so I just have to kind of wait and see now. Which do you guys think would be a better free shot? It does randomly rain on in the Amazon. That's a pretty good shot right there. Could grab that. Give it 3, 3, 4. Okay, wait for it to rain. May as well. For here. RNG decides when it rains. One certain enemy comes out in the rain. The counters are only off the container. Any day now. Weather is random. And if you do step off, goes back to circular around you. Alright, so let's just make sure that the Amazon weather isn't based off of sequence trigger clear in the game. Alright, so weather. Nope, no sequence, is just oh that's the fireflies. Yeah, no. Rain is off. Rate is 673, so let's make sure I didn't accidentally turn that on somehow. And no, it's off. So the way it's working is if rain is off, which it is, it's randomly throwing out a number between 0 and 1500. If it's between 0 and 5, then it starts to rain. If it's not, if it's any of those other numbers, because raining is supposed to be rare, because the Amazon River is big enough, you could do this for quite a while. Then wait a third of a second and roll another number. When it does rain, it rains for 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds. It'll eventually rain. I guess I could just make it rain. There. Now it's raining. Now I can grab that screenshot. Give me fireflies and rain. There's a good one. Okay, so that's that.